Welcome to Chile Expat Family. Today I'd like to give you guys a little idea about banking. I've talked about banking before, but this is a little more in depth. Here we go. What about banking am I talking about today? Well, this is about expats primarily in banking, expatriates in banking. If you go and move outside the United States, you are an escaped person. You used to be a slave, and you still are really. You were a slave for the US government that ran in this little hamster wheel and paid taxes. Chick, 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 chick. And every once in a while they throw you a little kibble or maybe some lettuce that they picked up off the floor for you. And that's what you call your paycheck, okay? Well, if you leave the United States, they don't like that because the hamster got loose, and they're going to look for you and they're going to stomp on you in the corner if they can't catch you, or they're going to put you back in the wheel and stop feeding you kibbles. Yeah. So, how do they do that? There's this act that is just evil. It had to be done by the U.S. Congress because nobody's more evil. Well, there's more evil. There's little minions there in the Congress. This is called the FACTA Act. F-A-C-T-A. FACTA. What is FACTA? The Federal Accounting Tax Compliant Act. Tax compliant. You're not in the United States, you're not using the infrastructure of the United States, you're not doing anything there, you're not even making money there, but they want your money here that you make. So what does that mean? And here comes the rain. What that means is that they're going to step in and tax your foreign account. How do they do that? They go into foreign banks and they say, tell us how much money Jim has in your bank. And if you don't, we won't let you trade money on the open market, and we won't give you loans, and you're going to be screwed. The FACTA Act. Because of that, foreign banks do not want your banking. They want your money. They don't want to touch you with a 10-foot pole because they're forced to report to the US IRS. That's like saying, we want some Koreans saying that we want you to tell us how much Koreans are spending and making in the United States and to North Korea. Yeah, like that's going to happen. Well, the U.S. can do it because it's called the Golden Rule. He who holds the gold makes the rules. And the U.S. federal government puts the screws to the foreign governments and the foreign banks to say, well, you're not going to get any help with any problems in your country. We're not going to help you through funding or lend you money or pay you off, basically, if you don't report to us what U.S. citizens have in your bank. That's banking here, and it's hell. Ciao from Chile Expat Family. It's raining too hard. I gotta go. Finish up about the FACTA. Well, how does that affect you? Okay, banks, foreign banks, whatever bank in whatever country you're in that's not in the United States has to report to the IRS how much money's in your account every year, or they'll fine you, they'll come get you, they'll take your birthday away, they'll do all types of nasty things to you. Actually, they'll confiscate your passport when you come through the U.S. Into the U.S. to visit the U.S. They'll confiscate your passport until you pay those taxes. I had a friend that happened to. Hey Beatrice, she's my friend, she'll know who she is. Anyhow, so how does FACTA affect your banking here? Well, they have to report. We already went past that, but part of that is they don't really want to report because they're a foreign bank in a foreign country that has nothing to do with the United States or nothing to do with the IRS. And they don't get paid for it. So when you run into a bank here, unless you have, let's say you had $500,000 or $250,000, let's say that, they'd probably take your money then reluctantly. Otherwise, you need to know somebody to be able to open a bank account. I mean a full-fledged, fully functional bank account like you have in the United States. They do have accounts here in Chile. Now, Chile, this is specific. I can't talk about Dominican Republic or Panama or Costa Rica because I don't know, or Ecuador. I don't know about there. I know that they have to meet the FACTA problems as well, and that these issues arise there, but I don't know how to get around it. There's always a get around. Well, here in Chile, they have accounts here called Cuenta Root. I like to call it the children's account because you have to be 21 years of age to have a bank account. And to have that bank account, it'll have checks and it'll have a sort of debit card. It's a debit card like that's specific only to Chile, okay? It's called Red Bank, or the debit card is your Cuenta Root card. Your Cuenta Root number, your bank account number, is the same number as your Cuenta Root, and your Cuenta Root is like your Social Security number. So everybody around the country has everybody else's Social Security numbers, which I find really interesting because they haven't experienced yet here identity theft. With very little stuff. So if you're out there watching and you're an identity thief, please don't come here. Go to another country. So it's hard to open a bank account here. They just don't want your business. And in all honesty, I can't blame them. Why would I want to have to deal with the U.S. IRS's banking requirements? You know, it's stupid. So the United States is the only country in the world, to my knowledge, I have to throw that in there, little legal disclaimer, the only bank in the United States that charges its citizens taxes no matter where they live in the world. Okay, there is a little caveat, a little sunshine there, and that sunshine is that the first $97,000 or $98,000 that you make outside the United States is not taxable income. Okay, but they still have to report anything that's in your bank over, I think it's $20,000 or $50,000. So how does that affect you here? If you want to transfer money from the United States to here, it's a real pain in the butt. It really is. And it's going to cost you, to do a wire transfer, it could cost you $250 to, it might only be $40 up in the United States, $50 at Bank of America, but here they're going to charge you a fee too. You're going to be paying about $200. It might be $400 if you have a huge amount. The easiest way to get money into Chile in $10,000 increments or less is to open an account at Western Union. I had a friend do this and he told me it cost him, I don't know, $5 or $10, okay? And he transferred the money directly from his U.S. bank to Western Union, then he went to a Western Union here in Chile and they gave him his cash. And they gave it to him in Chilean pesos, not American dollars, and it was at a fairly okay exchange rate. That's the other thing, exchange rate. If you don't understand exchange rates, go to xe.com. Excellent app for your iPhone, and it's really good way you can go and say, oh well, it's this guy ripping me off, and that's what the exchange rate is. You can even put numbers in there and reverse it, and it's really cool. It explains it to you. And you can get histories for what it's done for the past week or day or month. It'll show you a graph. So anyways, there in a nutshell is the problem with banking. Banks here, for instance, I have a Cuenta Root. I went into a little bit. My Cuenta Root account will only let me put 2 million pesos in it a month. I can only run 2 million pesos through it a month. That's less than $4,000, so that's $3,600, $3,500 I can run through my account. I can't put any more money through there than that. I actually brought down, I had $25,000 in cash that I brought because I split it up between me and my kids. Each individual, whether it's an adult or a kid, can bring $10,000. So if you got a big family, give, you know, yeah, my son's carrying 10, he's carrying 10, she's whatever. My wife's got, I got 10, but it's all in my hand. They'll let you do that, okay? Any more than that has to be declared. Don't try to bring gold. They're going to arrest you because you are a drug dealer. You just don't know it. The U.S. government, the transit, what do they call those guys? TSA guys are going to take your money from you if you try to leave out with more than that, because you're a drug dealer. Oh, by the way, they'll do that to the United States if you're driving down an interstate like I-85 or I-26 or I-95, and they're going to pull you over if you got more than $10,000 cash on you or in that range. They're going to confiscate it because you are a drug dealer. So don't go drive into an auto sale, an auction with cash to go buy something. Bad idea. On the bright side, they do accept your U.S. debit cards here and your Visa. They accept Visa here. You're not going to go into mom and pop little stand and buy an empanada for $2 and get away with it typically, but most of your bigger shops can. And you can go into a town and there'll be 3 or 4 stores that take debit cards and you'll be okay. All the bigger grocery stores take them. That's not a problem. And you can use your Cuenta Root card as a debit card here too, which is nice. It's one of the few things, but it's not like a full-fledged bank account. You don't have what you and I are used to in the United States well, it used to be that way. It's free to do with your money what you want because it's your money. Well, it's not your money. It's the U.S. government's money. Okay? So you can use your debit card here, so don't bring cash when you visit here. Go to an ATM here and get cash out. If you're smart, you'll go to internetbanking.com and open an account. My understanding is they don't charge any international fees. And if you're charged, which like if I go to the machine, ATM here, the caja, they call it the box, I'm going to pull out money. The bank here is going to charge me 4,000 pesos, which is about $7. $7 ATM fee. And then my bank in the United States for citizens in South Carolina is going to charge me another $5. So you could be 13, you could be 12, you could be $14. Okay. You could end up paying like $14 just to take out $300 and something, which is outrageous. I go through USAA. I have a bank account with them. They reimburse me for all my fees, so I pay basically no fees to pull money out of an ATM. Before you go to a foreign country, you have to go to your debit card provider, your bank or whatever, and tell them you're going to go to the foreign country so they won't say, oh, somebody stole your card and they're using it in Chile and they're going to cut you off and you'll be down here starving. Not a good thing. Let them know you're going before, how long you're going. There's my rooster. And let them know how long you're going to be here too. So. All right, ciao from Chile, expat family. Appreciate it. I hope that cleared up some banking stuff. There's a lot more to it. I don't know everything about it, to say the least. They do have business accounts here, and they're full-fledged accounts, and they have regular accounts that are not Cuenta Roots. But you have to have a business, and you have to be a Chileno to get those accounts typically, okay? Or you got to have a lot of money. You got to be what they call rich, and I'm not rich. So, the rooster says it's time to go. Ciao from Chile. Thanks. Ciao from Chile, expat.